Hey, what's happening, Nation? It's Sunjoku. Welcome to episode 11 of The Nation's Voice. We've made it all the way to free agency. We're going to keep grinding through this off season, but it's an exciting time right now. Everybody's pretty stoked about the team. Things are really looking up for us. So, for those of you guys who don't know, every Thursday night, 9:30 Eastern Time, I put 4 topics out there. Break them down with you guys. The show's really all about you, so put your opinion out there if you're in here live with me. If not, hit me up in the comment section afterwards. We're going to break down a few things. We're going to end up wandering off topic and hanging out and just talking Raider football for a good minute. So come on out, hang out for a while. We'll see what's going on. Tonight, I wanted to talk about Carl Nassib just because I did him in my free agency video. I just kind of touched on everybody that we picked up. But I really think we got something special in him, so I want to do his full breakdown. We're going to talk about Eli Apple. I have not talked about him yet. He's one of our new pickups. I'm going to see what you guys think about that. I want to really break down Marcus Mariota, put some facts out there for you guys, get your opinions on it, let me know what you're thinking about it. And then there's been a lot of talk lately about Darius Slay. I really like him. I truly do. I think he's one of the better cornerbacks in football right now. So I wanted to break him down for a minute, and then I just had a few general questions for you guys out there, just as far as players that have either become available or are sitting out there available right now. So we're going to break them down too, get your opinions on that, try to extend the show. I had a lot of you guys tell me the show was way too short, and the show's based off you guys, man. So if you want to keep it going, just keep commenting, because as long as you guys are commenting out there, I'll keep this show going for as long as you guys want to talk Raider football, because I love doing this, and it's a true break from the monotony and the bullshit that I'm dealing with right now. So jump out there, say what's up, let me know what you guys think. We're not going to waste too much time. If you are new to the channel, please do subscribe. I truly do appreciate that. I'm going to try to keep growing this thing. I know a lot of people out there are doing giveaways and stuff like that. I will not do that. I give you videos. You give me views. It's a really good partnership we have, so let's not screw that up. But, hey, what's happening, Zach? What's going on, man? Darnell, what's happening? Slay went to the Eagles for a 3rd and a 5th. Damn. Thank you. Well, that's gonna tighten things up, so I probably won't break him down that much. I thought he was still out there. Been at work all day. It is what it is. That one hurts a little bit, but I appreciate the info, Darnell. Let's go ahead and jump into Carl real quick. Dude is 6'7", 275. He's 26 years old. He played in 14 games last season. He had 34 total tackles, 24 solo tackles. He had 6 sacks the past 2 seasons, respectively. He had 0 passes defended. The dude, I mean, he's big, and he can get low, and he can rush the quarterback, and it's a big difference maker on this defensive line. I think something in my gut tells me that Marinelli went out there and handpicked him to be on this defensive line. And I know I'm probably going to catch some hell for this, but if you think about it, our defensive line might end up being set right now. I know a lot of you guys wanted to go out there and get another edge rusher, and I think this is it. And a lot of you guys wanted another defensive tackle, and we went out there and we got Collins. So there's a really good shot that our defensive line moving forward is ready to go. So I started thinking about it, and I mean, if you guys sit there and think about it, we have, or if we keep them, we have Mayoa, we have Farrell, we have Dion Jordan, we have Max Crosby. I mean, those are good defensive ends out there, like good defensive ends. And then we add Nassib in there, and he ends up taking the spot of Morrow on the outside, and he ends up getting cut. So, I mean, that is what it is, but that's a solid defensive end core right there. And then in the middle, we have Hall, Hurst, Hankins, and now we picked up Collins. I really think P.J. Hall is the odd man out in this. I think if somebody's going to end up getting cut off this line besides that Morrow kid, it's going to end up being P.J. Hall. But even with that, we have definitely upgraded from last season. Like, definitely. And our defensive line was good as shit last season. And now we have a new defensive line coach in Marinelli. I really think he could turn these kids around, and we could end up having a really solid defensive line. I think the odds are stacked in our favor. I know they've been little moves, and there's going to be a few releases, but I think we're looking great on it. Darnell says, I agree, our line is set. I think it truly is. I don't think we're going to see anybody in the draft. I think they wanted to make it a point to do that, to where when it came to draft time, they were like, all right, our defensive line is set. We don't have to screw around with that too much. And so they can keep pushing forward, because I'll tell you right now, instead of talking about Darius Slay since his ass is gone, when we get to his portion of this, we're going to talk about the fact that we still do not have a number 1 wide receiver out there, and it is driving me crazy. top 15 defense, I'm thinking, I truly think if we can make these right plays right at the very end, I think like right now we're probably sitting top 20, maybe top 15 right now. I think if we can add one or two more key pieces out there, I truly think this defense could be top 10. I truly, truly do. I think it would make a huge difference in that win-loss column for this team. So let me know what you think about Carl, man, because I truly think this kid could be a special talent out there. Zach says, I think so too. Somehow, with no linebackers, we are ninth first to run. And it was our defensive line. And another part of it was Carl Joseph. And him being gone completely sucks. I really wanted him back. Carl Joseph, I'm not going to lie to you guys, he was within my top 3 favorite Raiders that has been on this team in a long, long time. So I'm truly going to miss him. Hopefully he goes to Cleveland and just does his thing out there. I wish the very best for him. I hope one day he winds up back in Vegas. So, Carl Joseph, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Sucks to see you go. It truly, truly does. Hopefully you'll be back soon. But if not, we got to keep moving on. And I'll tell you guys, who was it that we picked up the other day? It was Heath. I'm hoping that Heath can fill that role that Carl Joseph was going to be playing. And it's still going to be tough. He might split time with Farrell. I could see that happening. I really think that Farrell and Crosby will still be our starters. And I think Collins is going to end up moving in there next to Hurst. But Hankins is still going to get his play time. That's why I'm thinking P.J. Hall might be out, because we're stacked, dude. We are truly stacked on our defensive line right now. So, I don't know. We'll push on from Carl Nesbitt in the defensive line. If you guys want to keep talking about it, just hit me up. We'll go back to it in a minute. We're going to keep pushing forward because I really want to talk about Eli Apple. We'll just break his stats down real quick. He's 6'1", 203. He's 24 years old, so he's still pretty young. He played in 15 games. He had 58 total tackles, 53 solo tackles. He had 1 forced fumble. He had no picks. He's only had 3 picks in his entire career, and he had 4 passes defended. He's young, and he does have some upside, but if you type in Eli Apple into like YouTube or something, because I always try to check these guys out, the first couple videos that pop up is Eli Apple is trash, part 1. I was like, well, shit. And then there's part 2. Like, you never want to see part 1 and part 2 of somebody that's trash when you just went out there and signed him to a pretty decent contract out there. So that kind of sucked to see. So I called my brother, because my brother is, for as much as I'm a Raider fan, he's a diehard Saints fan. I texted him. I was like, hey, man, is Eli Apple just straight trash? And he pretty much came back and said that Eli Apple, when he's on his game and he's happy and he's confident, he's damn good. He's a solid number 2, like a solid number 2. But the second that his head's not right and he gets out of the game, then he just completely loses it and just completely sucks, which you do not want to see. And I guarantee that's where a lot of these videos are coming from, part 1 and part 2. But he said that he's extremely good in coverage right off the initial snap of the ball. But then once the ball gets up in the air, he loses it, and he's terrible against the real fast small receivers. And it seems like he'll have the play, but then right at the last second, the receiver will go out there and make the catch. He did say at the end of it, after we got done talking, that he truly wished that the Saints would have kept him just as a backup cornerback. But there's a chance that he's coming out there to be one of our 2 starting cornerbacks, which scares the crap out of me, especially from what I've seen. And after talking to him, he does have all the potential in the world. And for whatever reason, maybe he hasn't been happy on the past 2 teams that he's played for. And he is a former first-round pick out there. But I don't know. This is a tough one for me. There's so many mixed reviews on this. I really wanted to get your guys' opinions on it. I truly think he will be okay out there. And I think if he's our number 3 corner, I think that would be way better for us. But if he goes out there and trying to win one of these starting jobs, I think in the long run it could end up completely screwing us. I know when he played for the Giants and he left there, Collins ended up saying that he was like a cancer for the team. But then people ended up talking a lot of shit about Collins too, so you can never really tell exactly what people are feeling out there. So Eli Apple, man, I watched it on Facebook, I watched it on Twitter when this ended up happening. There were so many mixed reactions about Eli Apple coming onto this team. it was crazy to me, like truly, truly crazy. At first, I was like, "Can Eli Apple do that? I'll be happy with that." And people were talking about him starting, people moving forward, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "All right, well maybe not. Let me just see what happens with it." So I wanted to put it out there. Let me know what you guys think about it. If our front seven is a strength, our secondary will be a strength. That is true. If we can limit the time that the quarterback has to throw the ball, it'll make these guys look even better. Boy, I do not want Apple starting unless he really improves. Thinking they took a short, hoping his length and speed will work well in our press man system. I mean, that's true. I mean, he is a pretty big dude. And he's 6'1", 203. And he does. I mean, my brother did say that. Dude has incredible speed. I don't think he has speed to hang with like Tyreek Hill, but if he's covering, and that's the thing, he sucks against the dude in the slot, so he has to be playing against that number 2 wide receiver. I think in certain situations, against certain teams, it'll really help out for us to where he can match up pretty good. And I think the rest of the time, you're going to end up seeing Worley still out there, so I don't know. That's a tough one, man. Eli Apple, that's, oh man. Let me know what you guys think. I'm okay with it. For right now, I'm okay with it. I just want to see how he works out in the full scheme. I want to see if we draft somebody else at that cornerback position, because after drafting Eli Apple, or after taking him off free agency, I could see us going out there and drafting a corner. But we still have some damn good corners on the back end of this that are still pretty young, that are on our team already. So, I don't know. I like Isaiah Johnson a lot. Like a lot. I really think he could step up. So, I don't know. Let's pull for that. I do not want Eli Apple as a starter. That shit crazes me. It's crazy. Apple reminds me of Connolly. Yes, exactly. He reminds me of Connolly a tremendous amount. Or Connolly. And how long did he last on this team? Pretty much just until he got traded off to Houston. And now I'm curious to see what they do with him. So, hit me up. Let me know what you think about that. Let's push on to our good old Marcus Mariota real quick. Mariota, did anyone see the contract? I did not see the details for it. But I do know that he ended up getting a pretty decent contract from us. I do know that. He had enough of a contract, and I'm sorry I forgot the numbers, but when I saw it, I was like, oh, shit, we might have overpaid for him. Because he's not one of those dudes you want to go out there and just pluck off the list real fast. I honestly thought there were better corners out there. So, and I think we could have got him for damn close to the same price we got him. That was one of the big red flags that I saw about that. But I mean, like I said, I've said this in almost every video. I'm just a dude sitting in his basement. I'm sure these guys see something that I don't. And I know he does have a ton of upside. So if we can break that out of him, get him comfortable, get him playing at his full level, I think that'll make a huge difference for us. But let's go ahead and push on to our boy Marcus Mariota here. The only reason I'm breaking down Mariota again is, one, because I didn't go over his stats. And two, because even since I cut that last free agent video, there's still a ton of people talking about there that saying that we have a quarterback controversy. And there's a lot of people saying that we're going to trade Carr now that we have Mariota out there. So I want to take a hard look at Mariota, go ahead and break him down real quick, put his stats out there, and just compare him to Carr and just kind of do a breakdown between the two of them, just so you guys could see what I see. And I mean, a lot of people have his back. A lot of people are so happy that he's coming to Vegas, and like convinced that he's coming to Vegas to be the starting quarterback, and it blows my mind, dude. So let's break him down. He's 6'4", he's a tall dude. He's 222. He's 26 years old. He played in 7 games last season before he ended up getting benched. He had a completion percentage of 59.4. He went 95 for 160. He threw for 1,200 yards, an average of 7.5 for 7 TDs, 2 picks. He got sacked 25 times, and in his career, he has never thrown the ball, or he's never thrown for more yards than 3,500. He's never broke the 3,500 mark. Carr's broke the 4,000 yard mark twice. Has been right there 2 other times. The fact that he got sacked 25 times in his 7 starts blows my mind. Like, it's almost like the offensive line had given up on him and they wanted somebody else behind him. Those are crazy numbers. I like Carr. He just doesn't win the games we need him to win. That is true. But there's a lot of factors that play into that. And I'll tell you right now, Mariota is not going to go out there and win those games for us. So I went out, I looked at some of Carr's stats, and I was like, all right, So we all know Carr's completion percentage is pretty much off the charts, to where Mariota was 59.4, Carr was 70.4. So I mean, that is a major, major difference when you're talking about completions. The yardage you really can't compare, but if you play 7 weeks and you're at 1,200 yards, you are not on pace to be throwing that ball for over 4,000 yards. The average was a big thing because a lot of people were out there talking, saying that Mariota will open this offense up. He'll make the throws that he has to throw, and he'll stretch the field completely. I mean, Carr has a longer average than he has, and I get it that 1.7.5 and 1.7.9, but if you go through the quarterback list, all these dudes are under 9, so a lot of them are under 8. So I know that average is kind of skewed a little bit, but I really don't think Mariota's going to stretch the ball any more than Carr does, and I think Carr would have done it a hell of a lot more if he would have had the weapons to go out there and actually stretch that ball. The picks, he would have thrown more than 8 picks in a season. But, I mean, he got sacked 25 times. Carr got sacked 29 times on the entire season. So that one's really big to me. I don't know, because a lot of people are like, oh, man, he could extend plays. He could stretch the play out. The dude got sacked 25 times in 7 games. He's not stretching out shit. The dude's getting sacked. He has no help from his offensive line. But then when Tannehill went in there, I mean, everything changed. So a lot of that falls on Mariota, especially when you have the running game that he had. A lot of you guys are super happy he's our backup, and I'll be honest with you, I'm happy he's our backup too. He does a hell of a lot better than Kaiser and those other guys out there. So, I mean, Peterman and Kaiser, no. Go ahead and put Mariota out there. Put him as the backup. Everything will work out fine. And we could finally put our quarterbacks to bed here, because that's going to be our starter. Carr will be our starter. Mariota will be the backup. I really think Kaiser will stick around just because he already's learned this system for a year. And he could be a good third quarterback for us. So I think the quarterbacks are pretty much set too. And then we'll push on to Darius Slay, even though he did get traded off already. That sucks, man. I really, really wanted him. So instead of talking about him, who do you think we're going to end up getting at that wide receiver spot? Because we truly need somebody out there. You think it is going to be somebody that we just draft at this point? Because the free agent wide receivers out there, there is not a number one. There truly is not. We'll either have to pull a trade to get somebody, or we're going to have to take a rookie in that first round. It's looking like it's going to be Jeudy. Lamb keeps moving up these charts, so I'll take either one of those. Lamb at 12, I would love Lamb at 12, and I really hope that he's there. I think he should be there, but a lot of people are saying that he's going to go before 12, that he's going to be in the top 10 now, which would put us getting Jeudy, but either one of those guys I'd be completely happy with. But at the same time, the rookie wide receivers, they have trouble making an impact when they first come in. Everybody's talked about it. I still think we're taking one, but they truly don't put up those big, big numbers. And I think we need somebody that can go in there and put up those big numbers, at least that first season for us. Because for as much as I love Ty Williams, and he played a pretty good number one wide receiver position, we need a true, true number one. It would make him so much better. And those rookies aren't going to be it. They are truly not going to be it. Lamb at 12 and Ruggs at 19. Shit, if they keep building the way that they're building, that's a real possibility. I really want to see him take Murray at 19. A lot of people are saying that we're either going to take a corner or just trade that pick back. I don't really want to see either one of those things. I think we need that extra linebacker. And then we need one of those receivers at 12. We have to get one of those guys at 12. But I think we really need to go out there and get one of these guys in free agency. And somebody that we're not going to overpay for. Because the two big names that are out there right now are two dudes that truly want to get paid. And they're not worth the money. They just truly are not worth the money at all. Robbie Anderson is not worth what he's asking for at all. So let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think we're going to do about that. And then the last couple things I just wanted to touch on real quick. Todd Gurley got released today. Would you want to see him as a Vegas Raider? I really don't know about that. I truly think that he's probably done. But at the same time, if he could come in here and know that he's going to be a number 2 running back, which the dude gets paid so much money, he's not going to end up being a number 2 back. That's the whole reason I think this whole thing is completely bogus. But I think it would be cool if we could have Jacobs and Gurley back there. I think that would be a tremendous combination. Plus, it would limit Gurley's carries tremendously to where he would have fresh legs all the time. So it would be a cool combination, but let me know what you think about it. I've seen a lot of people on Facebook and those different pages just kind of pushing it back and forth. So I wanted to get your guys' opinions on it. Let me know what you think. Zach, I think a second training camp for Carr with Williams, Renfrow, and Waller, it would be easier for the first-year receiver to sneak in there. I think it would too. And I think it would take a lot of pressure off of him coming in there, having to be the man right away. So I think that could be big. I think you make a good point there. I'd take Murray at 19. Yes, as a backup. I'd take Gurley. I'd take Gurley too. I just think he's going to be too much money for a number 2 running back on a team. But if he's willing to come in there and make a team deal to where he knows he's going to still get some play time, plus he has a shot at actually winning, and he'll have fresh legs all season, that could be a huge addition for us. The next thing I wanted to touch on real quick was Brandin Cooks. The Rams are pretty much just unloading their offensive side of the ball. They said he's on the trade block. What do you guys think about that? He's the first true number 1 receiver that I think is actually out there to where he could end up making a trade to bring in Brandin Cooks. The dude has some speed on the outside. He can make the big play for us. I really like him. I truly do. I'm not sure exactly what it would cost us. I don't think it would cost us a first, but there's no telling. But I also don't want to give up 2 of our third-round picks to bring him in. But Brandin Cooks could be good, dude. I'd take Murray at 19, definitely. Yes, as a backup, I'd take Gurley. Gurley for like $4 to $6 million a year for sure. Damn it, I'm late. Chris, what's happening, dude? Glad you can make it out, man. Yeah, we're pushing through, dude. We're talking about Brandin Cooks. Let me know what you think about him. Is he worth trading for? Because we're close right now. We're close on a lot of different levels of this team. And we're still missing that true number 1. If you bring in Brandin Cooks, then you go out there and you draft Lamb at 12. Dude, that changes everything. Like, everything. And, I mean, if you did have to cough up, like a Gabe Jackson in your third round pick, go out there and get Brandon, I would take that. I would take that in a heartbeat because it would solidify our number 1 and we could bring in somebody young and fast as shit out there. I think it would end up making a huge, huge difference for us. The next thing I wanted to touch on real quick, just because he's still sitting out there on the free agency board, I mean, he was when I went to work this morning, was Clowney. I really want to know if you guys think he's worth the money that he's asking for. I know I said earlier, I think our defensive line is completely set. There's a lot of you guys out there that want to get a bigger name out there besides Nezip. So do you think it would be worth it to go out there and give the guy like Clowney the money that he's asking? Because he's asking for like a good... I don't want to put an actual figure on it because I'm not sure of it for sure, but I know it's double digits. And he's never broke 10 sacks in his career. I do not think he's worth the money, but I don't know. That would be a tough one for me because it's hard to turn him down just because he does make an impact. The dude gets a ton of pressures, and that's honestly what it's all about. It's just getting the quarterback out of his rhythm. But he doesn't get to the ball as much as everybody would like to see him. If we can get him on a good deal, I would say yes. But at the same time, at this point, the way this team sits right now, I truly don't think that we need Clowney out there. But I've seen a few rumors about it, so I wanted to put it out there for you guys. But I say no. He's not worth it. We good. That's what I'm saying, dude. He's just not worth the money out there. And it sucks to say because, I mean, I would like to have him, but not for the price tag that he's asking. I wouldn't draft picks, and I damn sure wouldn't trade for one of our youngest starters on the O-line. No. And all right, I'll give you that because I said, I would trade for him for that, for Cooks. But Gabe Jackson, I'm still not confident that he's going to be on here. But at the same time, Richie's going to be gone, so he's going to have to fill that gap. Good's going to have to fill in one of those spots. And our offensive line is old. And I know that we still have, and we've got a young tackle, and then, God, I fucking forgot his name. Brandon, our other defensive tackle, that's not the starter. So a lot of you guys are against him, and I get it because he has had some bad times, but he is learning that both the split tackle position. So that's pretty tough to see. But yeah, we do have an old offensive line. I do not want to see Gabe Jackson go, but it is a possibility, and I will be pissed if I see it happen. And then the last thing I want to touch on, because we talked about it the other day, where we're short on running backs, like truly, truly short on running backs. And I started thinking about it. There is a dude in this draft that one of my buddies, like I said, my brother told me about. His name's A.J. Dillon. He's out of Boston College. He's pretty much a Mike Allstott reincarnation. If you have not seen tape on this kid, you need to go out there and watch it. He ended up having a really good combine, so he might move up a little bit. But if this dude's there in the 4th round, that is our 4th round pick. This dude is the perfect accent to Josh Jacobs. And to have both of these guys super young would be it would be such an advantage for us, especially having Ingold out there. Our running game, I truly believe, would be completely set at that point, especially now that we have Rashard locked down. So let me know what you think about the running back position. We're going to have to get one or two go moving forward. I'm just curious to see who you guys think it's going to be. But I think that AJ kid has a serious shot at being drafted to this team. And we've touched on a lot of running backs in the past, so I just want to hear your guys' opinions on it. So there we go, guys. He's a beast back. Yeah, darn it. That dude is a beast. Like a true beast. And he's the perfect change of pace to Josh Jacobs, where Jacobs will just shred you the whole game, and then he will just come in there and just punch you straight in the mouth to win it. So I love that move. I truly, truly love it. And like I said, if he's there as our third round pick or our first 4th round pick, take him. Take him, bring him on. That will solidify our running game. We will have our quarterback set. We will have our running back set. Wide receivers will still be up in the air, but our tight ends are completely set now, especially bringing in Witten to replace Carrier. Our offensive line right now, if they don't screw with it, it's pretty much completely set. Move over to the defensive side. We saw that. Our defensive line is completely set right now. Our linebacking core, we go out there and get Murray at 19. They're completely set. And then our secondary, man, that Eli Apple, man, that's throwing me. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. We're going to have to get a number 1 wide receiver. We got to go out there and get another good corner. And then, man, I think we would be pretty damn set moving into next season. I think we'll have a serious team that can go out there and play with anybody else on the field. I knew we were close. We've made some great moves. I'm saying it right now. We are 2 spots away from being one of the better teams in this league right now. Got to get a corner. Got to get a wide receiver. Everything else I think is going to fall into place, and we're going to excel next season. So that's what I got for you guys tonight, man. I appreciate you guys that came out in the live chat tonight. You know I truly love that. Just being able to go back and forth and talk Raider football is the reason that I do this. So thank you guys very much. We'll be back in a day or two. I'm Son Joku. Hope everybody stays well. We'll catch you next time.